literally annoys me. We're not only we're midweek meltdown. And that's right, we have another special episode. Everything's going to be great tonight. We're going to have fun. We got Pony Boy. Pony Boy, give us one of these. Give us jazz hands.
I'm representing the scumbag army tonight. I got to represent the scumbags tonight.
Oh, well, so
brought to you by Tom's favorite Tom Heisman,
hey!
and Matt Creed.
Yeah, of course.
So why don't we cut the shit and unleash this beast?
Oh my God, I'm so excited that, we got to start this off with this before we put him on.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Beast! Not the YouTuber. Not the YouTuber. Screw that guy.
Oh my God, you went there.
You're like 20 times better than him already. The fucking nerd he is. Screw you, Mr. Beast, if you're watching this. Not you, Mr. Beast. The other Mr. Beast. Give me $1 billion.
Jesus Christ, here we go.
Oh my God. So for weeks, we've been wanting this interview. Like we've been talking about it. We've been going crazy about it. And then from a personal perspective, I was super excited. I was writing every week, every day. Shit, I'm making promos. I'm doing all this kind of stuff. We're excited. Like, this is cool. You're getting inducted into the Hall of Fame, St. Louis Hall of Fame, correct? St. Louis Wrestling Hall of Fame? Yeah. So, I just want to start off with, how does that, make you feel, knowing that your career is being appreciated in a whole? Start off with that. Before this, we went into some crazy stories, so we're going to ease into that. But, how do you feel from the audience putting you into a Hall of Fame, putting respect on the career that obviously needs respect? I mean, shit, I'd throw you in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Well, it's a huge honor. When I first got the phone call, I thought somebody was playing a joke on me. They were like, "Hi, is this Mr. Beast?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they was like, "We like to congratulate you." I'm like, "I didn't sign up for no concerts or anything. If it's $1 million, go ahead and send it my way. Hey,
Mr. Beast, please give us money."
Right. And they was like, "We like to, congratulate you. You're in the class of 2026 St. Louis Wrestling Hall of Fame." And it was a real shocker to me. And yeah, I cried a little bit like a baby, and I was highly honored of, all my accomplishments, all my hard work that I've done in the business. I've met a lot of great people from the indie scenes to the bigger names in the industry. And I've traveled basically all over and learned a lot from a lot of the old schoolers and stuff. Yeah, and it was a journey for me, and I'm highly honored to actually be inducted into something big as the St. Louis Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Oh my God. And we're excited for you. I mean,
so, and that's like kind of a new thing on a fan base level, because in the past couple years, the independent scene has just hit a baby boomer style effect on everybody. You're seeing more independent companies pop up rather than like AEW, TNA, WWE. Here in Chicago, we've always had Ring of Honor, but you tend to see more independent companies pop up. Do you think that it's beneficial that there's so many, or should there still be that limitation on how many companies there are?
It should be a limitation on how many independent companies be ran. Some should go out of business, and there are some that should stay in business. Leave the professional independent stuff to the professionals that actually knows how to run a company and treat their guys right. If you don't know how to treat your guys right, you should not run a company. You should just pay for a ticket and be a wrestling fan. Or if you want to get booked, get a hold of those. Because years ago, I ran my own promotion, and I had everybody scraping and knocking on my door, and I did it old school. Before there were cell phones out, I carried around my laptop, and I told people, "Hey, send me an 8x10, or I'll go to your YouTube channel or something like that." I I said, "Send me an 8x10, or send me a DVD, and I'll sit at home and I'll watch it, and I'll get back a hold of you, and we go from there." And a lot of people are like, "Well, you know me." Yes, I know you, but when I'm running a business, I'm about business. The friendship thing is out the door. I'm gonna treat you just like if I had my own like company or a business, I wouldn't treat you with the red carpet. You would be treated like the average person. If you come into a new company, I can't, show any special privileges towards someone I know in the business
Mhm.
compared to someone who I don't know. So everybody respected me for that. I ran great companies. My guy, some of the guys that actually worked for me years ago, they can tell you when they came to wrestle for me, they never left the building hungry because I always catered for them. I fixed them rib tips, homemade potato salad. I had the whole kit and
Oh.
caboodle in the dressing room for the guys.
He hit him with the kid.
You had like the catering before catering became a big thing. That's fucking awesome. I love
Um,
that. And I'm
you know, and,
hungry
and
now.
and I asked that question because us at Tables, Ladders, and Chatter, we're actually partnered with a promotion out this way, Rocket Pro Wrestling,
Oh,
and and
okay.
and if you ever get a wild hair up your ass, we would
He
love
is
to
the
have
one.
you come out. We will take care of it. It's right out here in Joliet, um, and they do it different than other companies. It is more of a family friendly event.
Okay.
You
And
don't
then you
see
got our
the
asses commentating and cursing left and right. But
yeah, that's but they run a good, September through May of shows, and then they take
Okay.
off the whole summer. But you see these other companies that will run, every 3 months, every 4 months. With your 36-year credibility in the wrestling world, that is correct. 36 years.
36, yes.
Okay, I
my
remember my notes.
God.
I
That's how
was
long my
smart.
parents have been married.
Jesus. Do
Weird.
do you think that
And
it's
that's not
better
this,
for
obviously.
it's better for an independent promotion to run story based events or storylines, or run an event every couple months and bring in like a big name guy just to kind of fill in the holes?
I would say run a storyline because then that way you'll get more of a huger fan base. That's what I used to do. I helped run a few companies back in the day, a few years ago, and I was their talent guy. So I wrote all the storylines. I had a group called the International Alliance out in LaSalle, Peru, and
Oh,
I made these guys like the top heels wherever they were booked. The crowd hated them. We had to have extra security there, extra police, and
that's
I was the good.
badass.
I was the good guy, and they were so hated. I had fans like literally trying to run up to the ring just to destroy him, and it went very well. It went very well, and some fans, even wrote into the company and they didn't know I was the booker and writing the storyline. They was like, whoever's these international lines, we want them suspended. We'll get them suspended and we'll take them to court. And it was
Who
great.
I
kayfabe
bet
is
you
still
were
alive.
laughing the whole
Whoever.
time.
Yeah,
I'd be like, yes, the heat. Like,
and then
and go ahead.
and then when a few of the fans found out that I was writing the storyline, and some older fans, they was like, "Are you doing this?" And I'm like, "Yes." And they pulled me to the side. It's like, at first we didn't like wrestling, but they's like, "We like coming here because you're bringing back the old school mentality." Because we just brought our kid here to yell and scream, and he said, "I had to push my son the door to down." And I'm yelling and screaming, and I'm losing my voice. It's like, thank you for bringing back the old school of wrestling. I'm like, hey, I gotta do what I gotta do. And as the years turned out for me, I learned this from a lot of the old school wrestlers. They said, don't think of yourself as a wrestler when you're in the ring. Think of yourself as a fan. As a
mhm.
fan, what would you want to see these competitors do, especially for some of the bigger guys and the skinnier guys? You want to say, okay, what do I want to see if I'm a fan? okay, yes, I'm a wrestler, but I'm going to think as a fan. With me being 400 and some odd pounds, people looked at me like, oh, this guy can't do this, can't do that. But when he actually seen how fast and quick I can move, I can do arm drag, suplex, hip toss.
You
They were
had
like,
I like to call that the
Yeah.
Bam Bam Bigelow effect.
right. And people was like, holy crap. They was like, if we seen you coming down a dark alley, we would run because we
Yeah.
we see what you could do. They was like, no, no, that's too scary. He's like, how do you do it? How for a big somebody your size? How is that possible? I said, you do a lot of stretching and you know
Yep.
you just
It's a
limber.
lot of stretching, I assume. I've
Yes,
never
yes, it
stepped in the
is.
ring, but
You
you got to
you kind of
ragdoll that shit. Like,
you made the comment that you had fans basically knocking down your door. It kind of goes into my next question, and it's kind of becoming unfortunately a regular thing, whether at signings, conventions, shows, independent shows. The fact that the fans get so intertwined into the storyline that they can't differentiate reality from story. Do you think that that's because the talent are that good at what they're doing and they believe it that much, or is it just that the fans don't see them as actual people anymore?
Oh, they don't see them as actual people, but when you do the storyline and that person goes out and give 1,000,000% for what they're doing and what the boss asked them to do. My thing is, I never wrote a script. I just told the guys, do it from the heart. Don't
hell
don't
yeah.
sit down. Don't try to read a script. Go out there, do it from the heart. And think of it. Okay, what can I do to get underneath these people's skins? And my thing is, once you play with the fan's head, it's all a mental game. And once
Yep.
you start tying those strings around your finger, you can play them like a puppet.
See, and that's the thing that gets me in wrestling. That's why I'll hate people. That's why I'll love people. And you notice like a CM Punk, who's not my favorite. You got a John Cena and all that stuff. They're allowed to go off script. They're like, it seems like WWE's so robotic. So I can really respect that because, like you said, you're putting them into a fan perspective. And like they're playing off the fans. And like I think the storyline thing is very important because yeah, you can get a big name to come in and all that kind of stuff, but you're spending money. Why not have an interesting storyline? Like I want to see that more. Like, cool, a such and such comes in for one match. That's awesome. I love that. Where's the storyline though?
Yeah, because when I ran my company, this was back, I forgot the year, but it had gotten so big. I had ODB, her and I are good friends, and
She just got married recently.
yes, she did,
ODB got married?
Yes, she did. Good for
God
her.
bless that man. God bless that man.
Jesus.
Jesus Christ.
And it wasn't Eric Young either.
Could you imagine being married to her? Like, sorry.
She's a sweetheart, though. She is absolute sweetheart.
I've heard that several times.
And she wanted to come in and get booked for Chicago. I'm like, okay. I said, well, let me see how this goes. And I had one female wrestler, her and her husband, and we did, an outstanding thing. And I was the general manager, so I wasn't working the event. And it came down to a storyline to where a week before my event, she had it was a week before she won the women's TNA Knockouts champion.
Oh,
crazy.
So it was a week before that, and she had just won the belt. And my show was that following week, but she wasn't booked on it. And so we did a storyline, and then when we announced that the new TNA Women's Champion, Knockouts Champion, ODB was coming in, we sold out. It was in what town was that? Princeton, Illinois.
Okay.
State Farm, and we sold it out. We had like standing room only, and the fire department had to come in, and they was like, okay, how many people? It only fit 500, but we had 1,000 in there.
Holy shit!
So we had to do what they call an emergency evacuation, and I taught my security people, hey, if the fire department comes in, we got to be on the ball and getting these people out at a certain time span. And the fire chief came in there and he said, well, if you can get these people out in so many minutes, I'll let you still run your show. And all of a sudden, my ring announcer went out there and said, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we're going to have a fire drill, and our security personnel was at each exit. And we told everybody, we explained to them, and we said on the count of three, we want everybody to get up and start exiting. And we got everybody out of there within like 3.5 minutes time space.
Oh, holy shit.
And you know what? You can't, and that's got to make you feel good because, you had your 36 years of a career, and then you're able to flip the script in a way to still give back to the wrestling world, to the wrestling community, to have these shows, to have the connection with the business,
Right.
to have somebody of ODB's caliber who just won the title still willing to come to your show and do something, and even though she wasn't booked, what does that do for you? Like what is that like? Just
can I add to that question? Did she bring the belt?
No, she didn't, because that was under contract. She couldn't bring it.
Yeah, I could see that. I was just curious if TNA was cool.
But we still were able to announce her as the TNA Knockouts champion, but she could not. At that time they were real strict about, they were okay with their talent doing independent shows, but if they were champion, we couldn't announce that as, she couldn't bring out the belt.
Oh damn! If I was running TNA, but I get it at the same time. I do get it. Like you want them to watch the champion on their show,
right?
But fuck, if somebody came in with a TNA belt, like I mean, the show was probably amazing still, but like, whoo, that pop.
Yeah, it was outstanding. And then I had to shut the doors like 3 years later because of my travel, and it was just too much on me. And there was a gentleman by the name of Frankie Wilsful who got a hold of me and said, hey, can I run in Princeton? And I'm like, sure, because he lived in the town, and I'm like, sure. And that's when he brought up the idea of Rumble for the Kids.
Okay, so okay, yeah, I remember that. I think I've heard of that. I'm only 30. 34. I almost said 36. I almost said 36.
I'm almost there.
This is just water. This is only water. What is Juliet putting in my water?
This is only water, technically.
Right. And he called and asked me, and I said, brother, if you live there, I don't care, run it. And he's like, well, I'm going to do a package deal. You could still come down and wrestle for me. And he picked out the guys that were more faithful to me, and then everybody else. He's like, well, I want to book this guy. And from that point on, we ran for some years. And Rumble for the Kids was so amazing just to do something for the community out there in Princeton. And it was like a lot of the old school guys. I watched these kids grow up. Tom Heisman and Matt Creed.
Oh wow!
Wow!
And they can tell you, I watched them grow up as kids. Growing up in the business. Yeah, they're like my two stepsons.
It's funny you mentioned Matt Creed, because he was the one who passed our name along to Luke Roberts. So those guys are absolutely great. They're killing it in RPW.
I mean, Tom's kind of a prick, but that's fine. Like if he's watching right now, you're a prick. And
if you get to know him,
he's a great dude.
He's very nice. He's
I'm
very,
sure.
very, very nice.
We just have this angle going right now. Like he seems like a wonderful person, but fuck him at the same time.
You know what? and it's funny because I can say this about you're exactly right. Like if you first see Tom and Matt, you just get this like inkling about them that they're not like yeah, they can be assholes. They love the business of wrestling. They love the storytelling of it.
Wrestlers too.
They're great wrestlers, but you want to know what? They are some of the and they do it because they love the business so much.
Yes.
And we had them on actually the 2 weeks ago before we started the road, and Tom Heisman peer pressured me into drinking quite a bit.
We had a 3-hour podcast.
You didn't teach him how to do that, did you? I mean, listen.
You drank a bottle, technically.
Okay, I drank a full bottle of Malort, a 6-rack of Old Style, a full bottle of Dr. McGillicuddy's Cherry, and some other shit.
I had to end the podcast because he was sitting there staring after 3 hours, just not knowing what's going on. He was like,
"That's youth gone wild."
Yeah.
Well, all I can say is this. I'm not going to give it away too much, but Rumble for the Kids, all the boys after the event, we didn't actually go to sleep till 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. After the event, we had the after party with the fans, and then there was karaoke and everything. And the guys didn't go to sleep till 7 or 8 o'clock that next day.
Yeah. Oh my God!
Oh, good old. I know those.
I do too.
I know those.
I know those too.
And we always called. It was once a year, and we always called that. I don't want to say it because I don't want any copyright. Our WM every year. If you know what I'm saying.
Oh, sneaky. And
I love this laugh so much.
I love this. This is awesome. This is why we do this, And you want to know what? I'm truly grateful. I want to say this now too, and again, thank you to Matt Creed for passing our name along to Luke Roberts, and it's funny how you said it when you got the phone call for the Hall of Fame induction. I got a message from Luke Roberts, and I'm like, who is this guy? And he sent me this long text. I'm going, nobody watches my pod. What is going on here? So again, thank you to him. Again, I'll say this a couple times throughout the night. Thank you for coming on. And
we don't like St. Louis essentially, but we love wrestling. So St. Louis Wrestling Hall of Fame, sports wise.
I mean, at least
I'm real here.
This might be
a bad town. At least it's not Indiana.
This might be a hot take. Listen, Montana, St. Louis, and Chicago all have something in common now.
We suck.
We don't have a football team.
Yeah, that's true.
Stop. Not that, no. You know how upset I want to throw something right now.
I'm sorry. I had to say it. But, oh, God. But, I want to kind of go into it. You've been around, you've made your staple, you are being recognized finally. What would you say is one of the biggest, minus the Hall of Fame induction, because that's the end all be all. What would you say would probably, and I'm not going to single it, but your top 3 moments of your career?
Oh God, we got into this too. This is going to be great. Sorry.
He's so giddy.
My 3 prime moments in wrestling. I have several. First of all, it was a great honor and privilege wrestling Madman Pondo. Wrestled him. A good friend of mine's named Chief Alakula Kula. Him and I've had some.
Can you say that one more time? Because I found that out, and I've been sitting here trying to rack my pea brain how to say that name.
Chief Alakula Kula.
Chief Alakula Kula. Okay. It's exactly how it sounds, and it's spelled. What the hell?
Well, that's the thing. You get all these weird names, and you're like, is the R longer?
Okay.
Yeah, him and I had some great. We've teamed up before. We've wrestled each other. We did a Taipei death match in Portland, Oregon.
Ooh.
Oh shit! I love a good death match.
Yeah, that was, and it was a Taipei death match in a steel cage.
Oh my God. So did you I've asked this before to other wrestlers, did you get hit with a light tube?
Yes.
I heard that is the worst.
It is. I've done that with Pondo. We did in Kentucky. We did a Four Corners death match. I tell a lot of people this story. One of the boxes had scorpions. The other one had light bulbs. The other one.
Wait. Time out.
Wait, how do you use the scorpions? What the fuck?
How did this? Where was PETA? Like, where was scorpions?
Thank God not there. Thank God. Falling on a scorpion, Jesus Christ, that thing's gonna become powder.
The thing about the scorpions were, thank God that they were devenomized. So
okay,
but the only thing is,
I still bet it hurt like a motherfucker.
Well, see, Pondo wore a shirt. I didn't wear a shirt.
You missed the memo.
Ooh, sir. I've never heard about scorpions in a death match, so I imagine
I'm just gonna sit here and just, I'm ouch.
Yeah. So
as a fellow big man, no, thank you.
Yeah, as a fellow big man too. That sounds.
I'm gonna Akuna those tatas and put that away.
Yeah, it was.
So what was the worst out of that match? Was it the scorpions, the light bulbs, or what the hell's going on with our thing? Hold on. I have no idea. I just put it large. Oh my God!
All right, we're set. Stop it, Tommy.
He's getting all excited. The page so I can see your beautiful faces. God.
Oh my God!
Screw me.
The scorpion, like I said, when I got slammed in it, I got slammed on my back. So trying to get out of it, it was either sit up real quickly, which I couldn't. So I figured, okay, I'll roll over. And by the time, when I rolled over, snip on the nips.
Oh God!
That's like the worst Dr. Seuss line ever.
Do you ever side note? Do you ever see that guy who purposely gets stung by shit?
I can't do that.
No. That's what I imagined. You just think, all right, fuck, this is gonna suck. In the nips though.
Jesus, man.
Yeah. Did it swell? Did your nipple swell?
They swelled up, but I still had to keep wrestling.
Well, the adrenaline's going off at that point.
Yeah, when the adrenaline's going, you don't feel it after you get to the locker room. It's like, get these mofos off of me, please.
Yeah.
They were hanging?
Yeah, the whole time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Again, my mind goes in some weird places, and I'm gonna be honest. I just have the image of like helicopter titties with scorpions on them.
They're swollen too.
And scorpions in the background playing.
Yeah.
And you're still wrestling.
Yes, you can't just time out. No, there's no timeout in wrestling. But Pondo and I had become very good and very professional wise. Whenever he was booked somewhere and he was booked to wrestle somebody else, he's like, "Oh, I'm not wrestling this guy. I want to get in the ring with Beast." And we had the most mutual respect for each other. We get in there and we beat the holy bejeebus out of us and everything, and it was always fun wrestling. Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I think the comment of the night is snip, snip. There goes the nips.
God damn! And you. Okay, so
go ahead.
Oh man, the scorpions sound the worst, but how are thumbtacks?
Sucks.
They suck, but they hurt, but not really.
Yeah.
Now the Taipei death matches when they tape your hands up and you have to dip your hand in hot glue and then and then dip it in glass.
All right, sir. I have a question for you. And please don't think this wrong. How do you put your pants on in the morning? with balls that big.
No shit.
You have me at the tubes and the scorpions, and then you're gonna ante it up with. I think that's what you should have led it with first. Hot glue on a hand.
That's badass.
No wonder why he didn't
knows
take the
I love
scorpions
my
off. That
wrestling
would have
like
burnt the
that.
nips.
Oh my god!
Jesus.
Yeah, but
God bless
but that event, that was one of my most longest travels ever because I had a shoot job here in Chicago, so I didn't get off to 3 o'clock in the morning, and my flight was at what 5:30 in the morning.
Oh
So
fuck that!
Where were you flying out of? Midway or O'Hare?
O'Hare Airport.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh. If you're from Chicago, you know that pain.
So I had to carry my gear bag at work, leave it in my vehicle, and once I finished working, made sure the shop was closed and everything. Didn't have time to wash my ass off.
I bet they love that on the plane.
Who cares?
Oh yeah, it was.
Oh no, I'm the same way. I got kicked off a plane.
Thank God that it wasn't that bad, but I could smell myself, and it's like okay. And when I got to Portland, we had an hour delay in the air, so we just going around in circles. I'm like, okay, I need to get to the hotel and sleep and stuff. And by the time I landed, the show was within an hour. So once I landed, I had to somebody came and picked me up from the airport, got me to the building. So I had to do what they call a bird bath in the bathroom.
Yeah.
I've never drank energy drinks before, but I drank like 8 of them because that's how tired I was.
Oh, God damn.
Just to, and my buddy was like, hey man, slow down. I'm like, I gotta wake up. And I had that adrenaline rush, and I went out, did the Type A death match, bleeding everywhere. It was a crimson mask on me. And I get to the locker room, and after I calmed down and stuff, my body, I had that hard, heavy crash, and the promoter's like, I'm like, can I go to the room and go to sleep? He said, well, there's supposed to be this and this and this, so I got you a flight back at 1 o'clock in the morning. So I'm like,
oh no!
So
let's
now,
just jam it more.
Are you a plane sleeper? Or are you like me? You can't sleep on a fucking plane.
I can't sleep on a plane.
No, yeah, no. I don't. If it's going down, I want to be awake.
Right. So I'm like, are you kidding me? So I'm trying to sleep in the. We had the restaurant, and I went to a booth and I stretched out, so everybody wanted to try to play jokes on me. And Chief Alacoola's like, leave him alone. He's like the Incredible Hulk. If you piss him off, and he's trying to get a snooze in, he's gonna fuck this restaurant up. So,
I just think of Gulliver's Travel. Like all these like small people are trying to fuck with you, and you're just like,
right. So I'm like, okay, just get me to the airport. So I'm in the airport, get there, sitting in a corner. I was 2 hours early before my flight, and I'm sitting there rocking back and forth, crying because I'm so freaking tired. And people are walking past me because I have a big, huge bandage on my head, and you got the dry blood on me, and they're looking at me like. Then all of a sudden, police come in the airport. I'm like, oh fuck, here we go. Sir, you okay?
Shit.
So I'm like, oh. I'm like, yes, I'm fine. I said, I'm headed. I said, I'm a professional athlete. I said, I just had a match. I'm heading back to Chicago. Well, we got somebody just got beat up and they're sitting here. I'm like, no, I didn't. And so I had to pull my phone out and show them. It's like, Jesus Christ.
I told you.
Get on this fucking flight, sir. Jesus.
They like, well, they like, let the paramedics at least clean you up. I'm like, that's fine. And the paramedics was looking at me like, what the fuck? And when they pulled this, like, Jesus Christ, sir, what the hell is wrong? I'm like, long story. And they like, so I showed them the match. It's like, are you crazy? I'm like, no. I said, I just want to get back to Chicago so I can go to sleep. So when I get back, when the plane lands in Chicago, I order an Uber or Lyft, and the guy's like, where are you going? I said, the address should be on your phone. And I literally slept from O'Hare to the front of my house, and the driver's like, sir. And at this moment, I was in that deep sleep. So my younger brother and sister had to come out and literally slap me to wake me up. I'm like, where am I? They was like, They's like, get to bed. Thank God I had the next three days off. And actually, two of those days I slept hard. I got up maybe once or twice to go to the bathroom. I didn't eat nothing for 2 days straight. That's how bad it was after drinking those energy drinks. And I had to go
Oh
to the
yeah.
hospital because I was having like severe chest pains and stuff.
Oh wow.
And I went and the doctor's like, my blood pressure was like through the roof. And he's like, what did you do? And I told him, he said, you know what? I'm like, what? He's like, you were on death's bed. I'm like, what do you mean? He said, if you wouldn't have came in, he said, you would be dead now because my heart was like,
Holy shit.
Holy
yeah.
cow.
So he said, stay away from those energy drinks. And he said, don't ever, ever drink eight. He said, you drink way too much of them. That he said, you got way. So they had to do a flushy in me because my body was just like, my heart, and like I said, my blood pressure was
Holy
through the roof,
shit.
and heart was steady. I'm like,
Wow.
yeah.
And this is, and you want to, and
Jesus Christ.
as scary
Can I side note that before you finish this?
Go ahead.
Thank you for your commitment. Like so much. Like Jesus Christ, that whole story. I'm like, this man is abused. Like, thank you. Like, Jesus Christ, I feel like I should salute you at this point. Like, fucking hey.
And as scary and as dark as that story may appear to people, it kind of goes to show the love that you and your colleagues have for the independent scene, because without you guys, the wrestling wouldn't be what it is. You guys and ladies, we do have a first ever lady coming on the next couple weeks. That's
okay.
Yeah, she's
yeah.
ladies too. So. But you guys and you have paved the way for wrestling, and it's amazing to see the independent scene getting the respect that it deserves. And us as fans and people that watch us and listen to us, we don't get to hear those stories. So to see, like Tommy said so eloquently, we love and appreciate the commitment. But damn.
Yeah, then there was.
That's fan service right there. I mean, that's straight up like, I love you.
Yeah, and after that, Chief Alakula and myself, we were traveling buddies, and we wrestled for a company called MWA out of Omaha, Nebraska, and we were traveling from Omaha to South Dakota, North Dakota, and we did like a whole week of a show, just traveling from Omaha, all in that area. And Chief and I was heading home. We did one show in, I forget, some part of Missouri at a fair, and we were both, Chief and myself, we were both tired. And our thing was we went to Dunkin' Donuts a lot, and we always got.
I love Dunkin'.
Well, wait till you hear the drinks we used to get. Him and I used to get a coffee latte with extra sugar, extra cream, and extra double shot of espresso.
Holy shit. Jesus Christ, I'd be pissing like a racehorse. Like, God.
It kept us awake, driving 8 or 9 hours to get to the next town, and then you crash out in the
hotel. You ever been to a Waffle House?
Yes.
I love Waffle House.
Are you going to ask the question? You lined it up.
What do you mean?
What's your Waffle House order?
Yeah, what is it? God, we love Waffle House.
That's some gimmick infringement. I don't care.
Daddy's Waffle House, my God, underrated.
It was the chicken and waffles.
Oh, dude, best combo, like dead serious. Like I tried it once. Every time we used to have an IHOP because Helena, and they closed that down. That's what I'd order every time. Fucking chicken and waffles.
I didn't understand. I heard people ordering it, and it was one day that I went to go visit my brother. He lives in Texas, and he's like, "I'm gonna make you breakfast," and I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "You want chicken and waffles?" I'm like,
"What the fuck?"
I didn't know what it was, and he made it for me, and he put the waffles, and then he put the chicken on top, and then he put the maple syrup on. I'm like,
"Oh,
what is this?" He's like, "Your breakfast." I'm like. And he's like, just try it. He said, don't knock it until you try. This is something that we do in Texas. I'm like, well, okay. I'm like, oh my God, this is, oh wow. And after
it's
that, I
fucking
fell in
heaven.
love with it. Yeah, yeah. And I just, God, it was
Chicken and waffles.
there.
You can't go
Yeah,
wrong with it.
I
there
think
were.
in whatchamacallit, South Carolina, they got Jollibee or whatever the hell it's called. They have a chicken and waffle sandwich.
Oh
Like it's
wow.
literally 2 waffles, maple syrup, chicken patty, like, and they make it good. Like it's not like a McDonald's chicken patty, it's a fucking chicken patty.
Okay.
My cousin ordered that the day of his wedding, and I must have went through 4. Holy shit. Oh,
So,
oh.
we're talking about your biggest accomplishments, and some of the honorable mentions that you shared the square circle with. I'm just going to name a couple. King Kong Bundy,
Woo!
Yes.
Mabel, also known as Big Daddy V or Viscera,
Oh, you must have seen that match when he slammed me on the floor.
I did
and
see
then
that one, actually.
the one
Jesus
that I'm
fucking
really,
Christ.
really curious to hear something about, the Samoan SWAT team.
Oh,
Oh, shit, I didn't even know
Them
that
face,
one.
I got them.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Wow.
Now, again, we're wrestling nerds.
Wow.
I'm only 34, but I'll sit and tell you, Tom Blue in the face, my all-time favorite. Fuck Hulk Hogan, fuck Taker, fuck Austin. I'm going Dusty Rhodes. So when I
Dusty sucks
hear
eggs.
you sit when you pee,
Yeah, because I don't spray all over.
shut up.
So
when I
hear do it.
when I see these names, I get excited because that's like, and again, I'm only 34, but that's when wrestling was wrestling. It wasn't like the glitz and the glamour. It was, the guys doing the legwork. So how was the Samoan SWAT team?
whew, whew. First and foremost, when I got that booking, it was from Sonny Rogers
Oh,
and
wow.
Mr. Hughes. Though they were the ones who got myself and my tag team partner, Pretty Boy Floyd, and we were in the actual catering area. And the booker's like, "Okay, we have this in segment 2, segment 3," and he's like, "Well, we don't have nobody for the Samoan SWAT team." And he's like, "Who would like to wrestle Samoan SWAT team?" And myself and Pretty Boy Floyd were like, "Oh, we will." And everybody just, hmm? And everybody was looking at us like, and the Samoan, they when they heard that we wanted to wrestle, and they got up and walked out of the catering thing, and I'm like, "What do we do?" He's like, "Well, we got to pay our dues somehow." And when we went out there, I can say the Samoan SWAT team are very hard hitters.
I could
Now,
see that.
when you say hard hitters, because as wrestling fans, when something's stiff or a seat's given, there's always that little difference. But when you say they were hard hitters, was it just because they sold it so well, or
Did they punch the shit out of you?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, right. I don't know if you've seen a video when Samu slapped me.
Yes.
Didn't you see
Yeah.
something come out of my mouth?
Yeah.
Oh,
legit-
it was a 2. Holy shit.
You still have $1 million smile.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah,
It's a little scarred.
that tooth he legitly slapped out of my mouth.
Oh, wow.
Fuck.
And they
that.
use that nasty 4-letter word with an F and an A and a K and an E. Wow.
Yeah, but after that, I gained so much respect from them. It was a few months later, Samu, he was booked on an event that I was booked on, and I'm sitting in a locker room putting my gear on, and I see him walk in, and I froze, and he looked at me, and I'm like, oh crap. I'm like, oh God. I'm like, he might slap the hell out of me again. I'm like, oh. I said, good evening, sir. How are you? He said, I know you from somewhere. I'm like, ooh. I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, remember me from the American Wrestling Federation? Hubert Simpson, the guy that you. He's like, oh. He said, brother, I was having a bad day that day.
Sorry.
So I'm like, I'm thinking in my head, I'm going to respect him. In my head, I said, I'm going to respect it no matter what. And he's like, he said, I want to give you your props. He said, you and your partner literally took an ass beating from me and my cousin. I'm like, I said, that's what we have to do. I said, it's part of the business. He said, I've never said this before. He said, but I respect you for what you did. And he said, keep going, keep doing what you're doing, and keep
Holy
reaching for the
shit.
stars. And that's when the beast was born, and I just was getting booked everywhere, and a lot of people. I had haters out there, and they were saying, "Oh, you're copying after Abdullah the Butcher, and you're trying to do Abdullah the
No.
Butcher stuff." And I have two good friends that are, good friends with Abdullah. Yes, it's a trademark of Abdullah. Him and I do look alike, but our wrestling styles are totally different.
They are.
Abdullah never
They are.
he never had a problem with me, because I talked to one of his good friends, and he said, yeah, he said Abby doesn't care. He said he tells people, hey, he's making money, right? It's like, yeah, but he's trying to copy it. He said if he's making money, he said I've seen that guy wrestle before. His style and my style are totally different. Abdullah always told him I was more of a brawler fighter. He can actually do technical wrestling. So that's what makes it us two totally different people.
Yeah.
And that's gotta give you some big confidence boost. It's gotta, and I hate using this term, kind of fluff your ego to the point where you have somebody who is as recognized as Abdullah the Butcher being able to say, "Yep, I've seen him. I know what I do. Completely different." Give the man. So he's basically giving you your flowers, and for somebody that to you, I can only imagine cloud nine.
Right. So I want to get into something because we talked about it before the cast.
Okay.
And this is amazing. We've never had somebody so big, and this is not dissing on our other people we had on. They're all wonderful. You wrestled for WCW.
There it is.
I mean, my God. Okay. I gotta say, that's pretty fucking prestigious for our podcast. Like, oh God, we got a WCW wrestler on here.
He's been sitting on that golden egg all night.
Okay, we're halfway through. I want to hear these stories. They're amazing. Like, your whole career is amazing. Everything you've told us, my jaw has hit the floor like 5 times. And then before this, Christ, when I found that out, I literally almost shit my pants. I was like, wait, what?
It was a great experience wrestling for him. Like I said, I made my debut in Detroit, Michigan at the Cobo Arena against the Barbarian, and that was in front of 20,000 plus at that building.
You love punishment because all these guys, man.
I was gonna say that.
I mean, I get it. You're big, you're bad. You throw down with them, but
I want to see you in a dark alley.
Them Samoans are nuts. I've seen them rip coconuts with their teeth. No.
Yeah. But you're a glutton for punishment.
Thank you.
I was scared of the Barbarian.
Really?
When I first, Vader came in and was like, "Oh, you rest." I heard, God rest his soul, Big Man Vader came. He said, "Oh, so I hear you're wrestling the Barbarian," and you don't think, you're nervous, and and I said, "Well, my grandmother always taught me the bigger you were, the harder you fought." And as soon as those words was coming out of my mouth, he was standing right there in the locker room, and I didn't see him standing there. So I turned around.
No.
And he looked at me, and he walked out and started yelling and screaming. I'm like, oh, Vader's like, he's going to kick your ass. He's going to kill you in the ring.
Whoops.
And this is...
Did he kick your ass? Did he?
Actually, he scared the living bejeebus out of me in the ring. And he laid in a few good heavy steps. Nick Patrick was the referee, and
dude.
Yeah, and I can say this, Gary Michael Capetta. I've always watched him ring announce, and Gary Michael Capetta actually announced me coming to the ring, and I felt like gold. It's like Gary Michael Capetta. Then you got Nick Patrick's. It's like, holy fudge.
And then you get in the ring on their own. It's not even the wrestlers. Like, those are legends. Like,
yeah.
Then you get into the ring, you having this heavenly gold moment, and there's the Barbarian.
Yeah, he
Yeah, I'm
came
good.
out.
How many
It was
people did you wrestle in front of? Because you told me that. That blew my mind too.
the biggest. Like I said, the biggest I've wrestled for was like 20,000 at the Cobo
Fuck,
Arena.
dude.
Then I've wrestled, in other places. I did some traveling with the Nasty Boy Brian Knobs and Sags.
Love the Nasty Boys.
Great, great, great guys, and
I've met
we
one of
played
them.
a
I think it was Brian.
we
Nice
played a
guy.
joke. We played a joke on some kid. He was helping set up the ring and stuff, and myself and the Nasty Boy, we were in the locker room, and this kid, oh, I think wrestling is fake, blah blah this and this. I was a young
Oh,
buck at the time, and he's, oh, I think it's fake. And Knobs grabbed my wrist, and he's like, and he twisted, and he just took me down hard on the floor, and I hit the floor, and the kid's like, oh my god, he broke his arm, I'm getting out of it. And I got up, I said, so he thinks it's fake, huh? Okay, good. At least we got him out of the locker room.
ah!
And
You know, before we get into the second part
that
of
kid
the
turned
show,
out to be Danhausen. No, I'm joking.
oh, you're cursed. You know,
Cursed.
like we like to have fun on the show. Like the first half is all about you. And again, thank you so much for coming on. You know, it's a real treat for us because, like I said, we don't
We have
get
a
to
Hall of
hear these
Famer on
stories. We
here.
don't get to see the true starters of what we love in wrestling. But for a 36-year career, what would you say to the up and coming wrestlers? Like, if you had to give them like the best advice you can give them right now, with wrestling being what it is, what would that be?
Don't
I've
fuck with
always,
scorpions.
I've
Sorry.
always, I've always told a lot of people that I've met, even or that I always tell them, come to the building early, help set up. I don't care if you've been in it 5, 10, 12 years. Get your ass there. Help set up chairs. Help set up the ring. Even though in my luxurious career, I still came here before the promoter got there and before the ring got there. I would sleep in the parking lot in my car, and as soon as they come in, I'll start lifting poles and stuff. And I would literally get yelled at. They're like, "BC, paid your dues." I'm like, "No, I want to get this ring set up. I want to get." It's like, "No, you're not
Hell yeah.
touching the ring. Put some chairs up." And you have to show the younger guys, hey, look, this is what you can do. Don't come in like you're a fucking superstar. Don't come in with an ego, because when you come in with an ego, you can eat. My thing is, I'm from the old school. You come in the locker room with an ego, thinking your shit doesn't stink. I'm gonna knock you on your ass, or else I'm gonna put you in your place in the locker room.
I
We
think
hear
that
it.
should still be a thing. I
We hear at
really
tables.
do.
We here at Tables, Ladders, and Chatters tell everybody, check your ego at the door.
Yeah,
Well, I'm
and
part of Black Excellence, so I am
Oh
allowed to have a
God!
little
Not
bit of
the,
it. Did you know
there,
about that? I'm part of a faction, Mr. Beast.
oh my
Fuck
God!
Mr. Beast.
No.
Sorry. I'm part of the faction. I'm not official, and that's fine. That's fine. They love me. The Black Excellence of Rocket Pro Wrestling has taken me in as their Sami Zayn, and I feel
okay.
like I've proven myself and all that kind
Oh
of stuff.
God!
But
Oh
I need to
God!
set up a. I don't know where I'm going with this. I just wanted to gloat for a minute with my Black Excellence friends out there.
So this is kind of the fun question hour, and one question I really like to ask my guests, and I switch it up for different variants. You listed a lot of big guys, big name guys. And the ultimate question that's asked throughout wrestling as a whole is Mount Rushmore. Who is your Mount Rushmore of heavyweights? And I'm talking like the Vader, Kamala. Yeah, again, when I say big, I don't mean
King
like
Bundy?
heavyweights. Yeah, I'm talking like the
Bruiser
super
Brody?
heavyweights.
Sorry. I love super heavyweight.
Well, I
Omos?
had I had a few. I was real good friends with Kamala. Great guy,
That's
very
sick.
very very respectful. Vader, he showed me some things, here and there, and Bam. I had the opportunity to meet Bam Bam Bigelow. You don't see a lot of big guys that can actually get in a ring and move. Usually, you see guys with the overhang bellies. Yes, I have one, but you see some of them that really can't move and they get what they call winded very quickly. Me, I've
Mhm.
wrestled guys for 20, 30 minutes and they was like, how the hell do you do it for a big guy? My cardio is like
Yep.
100% pure. I got in there with some of the best of the younger guys and they tried to what they tried to school me, but I taught them a lesson or two. That they'll be crawling back to the locker room, and I'll just be la 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 la, and they're like, "How do you do it? Why aren't you out of win?" I'm like, "Because I know what I'm doing. You're the one that's gassed out. I think you need to go back to the gym and work out some more."
And what you know, you said that earlier, and you know, you kind of hinted at in the pre-talk. You know, all these guys are worried about their abs and their biceps, but you look at like the guys that aren't ideal shape or 0% body fat, they're outperforming the big guys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So,
yeah,
who's your Mount Rushmore of big guys?
Big Van Vader.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love Vader.
Absolutely.
He was a great guy, and for him to be a big guy that can do a moonsault off the top rope.
It still blows my mind. Still blows my mind. Every time I watch a Vader match and he does that, I'm like, how in the fuck?
Yeah. Him and Bigelow just blow my mind.
Yeah.
How do they do it?
Great, great agile guys, And like I said, people look at, like I said, some big guys that, oh, they can't do this. And then when they actually see what big guys can actually do in the ring, they're like, oh, no, that's impossible. And then that's when you get that fan base of total respect. And a lot of
Oh yeah.
places where I was booked at and wrestled at, I had huge followings and stuff like that. And my merchandise table would always sell out when I had my shirts. The first day that I got them, they sold out
Fuck, I
within an
want a shirt.
hour. I
You
still,
got them online?
I have to look at my storage thing, but
Ooh.
I'm totally ordering one after this.
when I first got them, I had my old replica of my shirts, and then I had the new one with my face with my tongue on it, and
Hell yeah.
those sold out like as soon as I posted it on my fan page that they sold out like hotcakes, and I had to put some aside because people at arenas like, I want 4, I want 5. They were pre-ordering them. I'm like,
Oh hell yeah.
so I would get to the arena and during intermission, go to the table and I have the shirts and 8x10s. The 8x10s, they're like, oh, we'll just take a picture with you and pay you for the picture, but we want the shirts. And like I said, the shirts went like crazy. And there were some people that I'm a sucker. Well, I'm one. Even though a lot of people fans hated me, they knew that I had a heart of gold. There was a kid. I don't know if you ever seen a video. That was called, the company Make a Wish, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A few years ago, there was a kid, way back then, and I was wrestling for a guy named Santana Starks, God rest his soul. It was called Anarchy Pro in Chicago at the Berwyn's Eagles Club. And there
That's
was
no more. That's no more.
yeah, I know
Yeah,
it
I've
sucks.
heard of
I
it.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was a kid who was on the heart transplant list, and they Make a Wish got a hold of him, and they was like, well, we can bring in this superstar. He said, I don't want that. I want the Wild Man Beast to come because I'm a huge Beast fan.
Wow.
Aw.
But
Aw.
I'll send you the guys the video once we get off air.
Yeah.
And the video
We'll link it too.
it was very touching towards me. And he was on the phone with his father, and his mom was. He's like, Mom, why are you out there? She said, you'll see in a second. And when I said, hey, buddy, how are you? Just the joy and the smile on the kid's face, it touched me. I was about to cry, but I had to hold his hand.
Yeah. Oh
and
man, that would be
and that's
hard.
why, that's why like wrestling is such a great thing, and people don't understand that it's more than the glitz, the glamour, the occasional snip, snip on the nip.
Well, you guys get it. Like, you guys get it because the fans make you. The fans are the thing. And then you get heartwarming moments like that where you know that you've made a mark, that you've done something, and you respect. That's why I love wrestling, because you guys understand it like 110%. Like, we are fans, and you keep us fans, and then that story alone, respect, dude. Seriously.
Right, and still to this day, I'm still friends with the kid, his mom and dad, and we talk on a regular basis.
That's awesome.
He got the heart transplant and everything. He just turned 22 now. He's a grown man now.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's
Oh God, that brought a tear to
my eye. going off of that, I was asked by somebody to ask you. So what about Tom Jones?
A smile comes across his face. I just loved how it slowly came up, like he knew it was coming. He's like, I
love Tom Jones too, but I was told to ask you about Tom Jones.
Okay, okay. I'm a huge Tom Jones fan. A lot of wrestlers, didn't. They knew I was that, but I was in Missouri, and there was a gentleman by the name, my former manager, Matt Maniac GQ, and we were driving, and I'm like, there was a CD shop. I'm like, let's go in here and see what they have. And I'm walking around, and they had, like, in the back right hand corner, I seen Tom Jones. So I said, oh. So I go over there, I grab the CD, and I'm looking, like, I don't know these songs. And then I turned around, and I seen, it's not unusual. What's New Pussycat? And I'm like, this is the CD.
Yep.
So I went and paid for it, and we get back in my rental car, and I'm driving, and I turn it at doot doot doot. Dude,
I was just thinking of that song too. It's not on you.
There it is.
Loved by anyone.
There it is.
And so I had my windows all the way down, and there was some Caucasian girl in a car next to me, and I'm jamming, and they're looking at me, laughing, and they start dancing. And Matt Maniac just like, oh my God, I can't believe you're doing this. I was having fun, and the ladies was laughing at me and stuff, like, wow. They was like, good song. I'm like, thank you. And then as soon as the light turned green, drove off.
And it's like, I love Tom Jones. All time favorite Tom Jones song is Delilah. That's probably one of my favorite. I had a moment like that too. I'm also a big Luther Vandross fan.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool.
So I work at the rail yard out here in where I'm at, and I come rolling up on my motorcycle one morning. I got Luther playing. The looks that I got rolling into my yard. And my one coworker goes, "What do you know about Luther?" I'm like, well, I say this. He's the only brother who could pull off a pair of leather lapels, and is Luther.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I'll tell you guys another funny story. There was a time I was wrestling in Springfield, Illinois, and me and another wrestler, we were in a car. We had just came from IHOP, and I had a few drinks. I admit I had a few drinks in me, but I could drive. At that point, I could drive good when I was younger, and they had.
It's just concentration fluid.
Right, and what they had was like one of those seatbelt check stations.
Oh no!
So I pull up, and at this time he was my rookie. His name is Skittles, and he's like, "We're going to jail. We're going." I said, "Dude, just shut the fuck up and calm down." So
Cody Boy's told me that many times.
So the state trooper shining his light. He's like, I had both hands on wheel. I'm calm, cool, and stuff. And he's looking at me, and I'm like, okay, what kind of questions this guy? He's like, what kind of music you like? And I'm thinking, like, what the fuck do you mean? What kind of music I like? And I had on, dark shades, and I'm like, okay, why is he asking? He said, I said, I like R&B, country, this and this. He's like, okay. He said, what kind of hit songs do you have? I'm like, And he's like, you know who you are, right? I'm thinking, yeah, I'm the Wild Man Beast. I'm thinking this in my head. He's like, Mr. CeeLo Green, I'm a huge fan of yours.
No!
Oh shit! What the fuck? I'm sorry, you kind of have the look, but you don't. Like,
when I put the glasses on, I look like CeeLo. And he's like, just see me that one verse of your song. I said, I see you driving around town with the girl. And he's like, go ahead, have a good day, sir.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
So I drive off, and then there was a cop car behind me. And I guess they asked, what was going on, and he pointed to the car. So these Springfield cops pull on the side of me, and they turn on their cherries, and they go beep beep, and they stick their hand out, waving. I waved to them like, hey, and drove off. And I get back to the hotel, and I'm like, and I see a tour bus. I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I asked the front desk. She's like, Mr. Green. I'm like, no, I'm not.
We're rolling with it now.
She's like, oh. She's like, you got a couple of messages. I'm like, okay. I'm like, is CeeLo Green? She said, yeah, he has a concert tomorrow at our stadium. And I took the glass. I said, ma'am. She said, oh, you're the ref. She said, I'm so sorry. I thought you was him. I'm like, wow, this is so. So myself and CeeLo Green was staying in the same hotel, but I didn't know what room he was in. So went down for breakfast. I had just missed him by 10 seconds.
Damn. That's one of those stories. Like,
you could have doppelgangered him. You just walk up and be like, hello, I am your doppelganger.
Right. I wish I would have met him. I'd be like, okay, I can quit wrestling. I'll be your double. You could be over in Tokyo, Japan, and I'll be in the United States doing Millie for living and just living.
Yeah, double dipping
around with the girl on.
Oh my god! So like I said, we normally run an hour. Again, thank you so much for coming on. For me, Tom, all my crew, you are the reason we do what we do. We love hearing the stories. We love getting deeper into the history of professional wrestling. And like Tommy said at the beginning, like, he was super excited about having you on. As soon as we heard you were coming on, we were geeked.
Oh yeah.
I can't thank you enough.
It was a great honor, guys. Thank you for the laughs. Great podcast, guys. Thank you.
If like I said, if you ever get an inkling to come to an RPW show next year, let me know. I'll make sure you get taken care of. And you want to know what? So if you ever want to run it back,
real quick, you said when he gets a wild hair up his ass. His ass hair is already wild, so we just got to pick it out. It's the opposite at this point.
Oh,
fucking A.
God.
He's a wild man beast. He's got his hair is probably all wild. Shit. Sorry, I don't mean to talk about your ass, but he said that earlier. I'm like, wait a minute.
This is why we can't have nice things. But and if you ever want to run it back, we would love to have you back on the show.
Absolutely.
Congratulations on the Hall of Fame. Well deserved. Probably overdue. Hopefully when you walk out to accept it, somebody's going to hit the Tom Jones. And
I'll sing it for you. I'll sing.
No, you won't.
I'll carry it. It's on you. She wants to be loved.
That's why we have the mute button. I'm going to unmute you now, Tom. There we go.
What's new, pussycat?
Motherfucker. I can't take him anywhere. Like, I can't. But, before we close out, we also like to have our guests kind of close it out, and it could be anything about you, anything. We like to have it so this is all about you.
It's you time. It's been you time the whole time because, goddamn, I feel honored. But
well, I have the thing is, all the newer guys that's coming into the business, just listen to your vets, sit down with them, ask them questions because they can help you out in so many ways fashion, and form. Respect everyone in the locker room, whether it's the custodian cleaning out the toilets or somebody at concessions or whatever. Respect them. Don't show any attitude, because if you start doing that, you can get blacklisted and blackballed in this business. Show respect to any and everyone that comes your way, even if with some of the fans. They are the ones that help us, pay to see what we do as wrestlers. I'm not wasn't a sports entertainer. I was a wrestler. So they come to see wrestling. And that's what helps support us to travel, do what we do, get the bookings that we do. And for me, for my 36 years, I wish I could still be wrestling, but excuse me, the body can't take it anymore. But I've had the honor and privilege of wrestling some of the best indie workers, around. I've watched some of these kids that are in it, like I said, Tom Hyman and Matt Creek. I watch these kids grow up in the business, and like I said, I'm like a father to them, and I've trained some guys like Chris Mercer, Van Johnson, and Skittles. I even helped Chris Ecstasy, who's just been, into SICW. I helped him out. It's a lot that a lot of people learn from me, and when I spoke, a lot of people listened because they had that respect for me. Like with Mike Anthony, former Windy City Wrestling Pro Wrestler. I've wrestled him in my retirement match. I've wrestled him on several occasions. That was always a dream of mine, and I got that privilege and honor to wrestle him. I've wrestled Willie the Bomb. I've wrestled a lot of great independent guys, and I just say, hey, don't get into wrestling because you think you're going to make millions and millions of dollars. You have to start off from the bottom of the barrel and work your way. Keep reaching for the stars. You're always going to have people rooting for you. If you show that respect and love for the business, you'll get fired. If you don't show it and you think you're going to get money right away, I don't think so. You have to bust your ass, and it starts by coming in early, setting up the ring, saying yes sir, no sir, to help tear down. Don't say, oh well, I gotta leave. You're not in the big time yet. Still set up that ring, take down the chair. If the promoter asks you, hey, I need you to help tear it down, make sure that the dress room is clean afterward. Just show respect, and it will get you a whole hell of a lot of places. And stay away from the politics and the drama in wrestling.
Yep.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, I am the Pony Boy, the 815, Tommy Gums from Helena, Montana, the Wild Man Beast, 2026 Hall of Fame inductee for the Independent St. Louis Wrestling Hall of Fame. Thank you so much, my friend. Looking forward to have you back on. And until we chat around again, everybody stay golden.
Everybody join in. Dot, 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 dot.